Hi boys and girls. Today for language arts or for reading, we're going to be practicing a strategy called problem and solution. So usually when we read a book or we read a story, it'll start with or it'll have a problem, but then it'll also have a solution. So what does that mean? What does problem and solution mean, Miss Cortez? So I'm going to give you an example of a problem. Okay, so whenever we start with a problem, it's something that we can't do or something that's hard or something that's in our way. So I'm going to give you the example. Let's say we're back at school and we're color coding our morning journal. And oh no, I look in my pencil box and there is no yellow in my pencil box. I don't have a yellow. So my problem is that I have no yellow crayon. That's a problem for me. So that's my problem. I need to work to find a solution for that problem because we know that just sitting there is not a solution, right? There are a lot of things that I could do. So the next thing I would do is follow some steps to help me find a solution. So my problem is that I have no yellow crayon. I can follow some steps to help me get to my solution. One, I can ask my neighbor. Okay. I can check the lost and found. I think those are my only two steps here. So I can ask a neighbor to let me borrow theirs, or I can check the lost and found. So then my solution to my problem is that maybe Emily lets me borrow her yellow. Emily shares her yellow. So I no longer have a problem. I started with a problem, but I followed some steps to help me find a solution to my problem. Does that make sense? That kind of goes with our theme for this week too. This week we're going to be talking about inventors. So inventors always start with a problem. All the cool things that you use on a daily basis, they were invented by somebody. Somebody invented this eraser to erase this. They were writing on their whiteboard and they thought, oh no, how do I take that off without getting my hands dirty? That was their problem. This was their solution. The cell phone, it started off with a problem, I'm sure, right? People were outside and they're like, oh, I need to call my family, but I don't have a phone. So the solution was to invent a phone that you could take anywhere with you. So most inventions, or I would say almost all inventions, start with a problem. So today we're going to be reading about an inventor who worked on making different robots. And as we're reading, I want you to focus on what are some problems that he faced when he was inventing and what were his solutions to his problems. So he did come up to some problems, but then he found a way to solve his problems. He followed some steps to solve his problems. So why don't we read the story and you're going to help me in a little bit fill out a chart with some problem and solutions that this inventor faced. Are you ready? Okay, let's get started. So the story for today is called The Story of a Robot Inventor. And the essential question says, what inventions do you know about? What inventions do you know about? The Story of a Robot Inventor. Although this says story, this is a non-fiction story. That means that it is true. We're going to get some facts about something that is true. Okay, one of my clues is the fact that these are pictures and not illustrations, right? And it's a biography because it's a story about this man who is real. Big ideas. Matt Tomotaka Takahashi. Meet Tomotaka Takahashi. He invents unusual robots. How did he get started? Mr. Takahashi was born in Japan in 1975. Whoa, that's a long time for you guys. As a child, he played with blocks. He used his imagination to make all sorts of forms and shapes. So there's Mr. Takahashi. Later, he read comic books about a robot named Astro Boy. The robot looked like a real child. Takahashi wanted to make robots just like it. So Mr. Takahashi wanted to make robots just like Astro Boy. Finding out about robots. In 1999, Takahashi began to study robots. He took classes to learn how they move. The robots bent their legs when they walked. It did not look right to Takahashi. People did not walk that way. Then Takahashi had an idea. He made a better robot. It did not bend its legs. When it walked, it moved more like a person. Making better robots. So far, have you noticed? Did he face any problems yet? He did. He wanted to make robots, but he noticed that they bent their legs. That was a problem for him. What was his solution? He made a better robot that didn't bend its legs when it walked. Making better robots. In 2003, Takahashi started his own company. He made many robots. A short robot climbed up a cliff with a rope. A bigger robot lifted a car with its arms. Another robot rode a bike for 24 hours. That's a full day. Takahashi began to put his robots in contests. He made 3 robots for a sports race in Hawaii in 2011. The first robot had to swim. The second robot had to ride a bike. The third robot had to run. The robots had to do these tasks for a week. So one robot had to swim, the second robot had to ride a bike, and the third robot had to run, and they had to do all of that for 1 week. Whoa. For the race, there were many problems. Here we go. Problems. I wonder what his solutions are going to be. For the race, there were many problems to solve. Takahashi made the swimming robot waterproof. He gave it arms like fins to help it swim faster. Another robot was able to ride its bike for 100 miles without braking. The third robot ran for 26 miles. Whoa. What will Takahashi invent next? Will his robots fly and soar like Astro Boy? Will they be his finest? We can only guess. We must wait and see. Tomotaka Takahashi is sure of one thing. His robots will do more and more. So he made all sorts of robots, right? But his goal is to always make them better and better, because inventors, they face problems all the time. Things don't always work out well or perfect. They face problems all the time, so they have to find solutions to their problems. So after this video, we're going to turn to page 238 in your squirrel book, And it looks something like this. It has 3 boxes. It says problem, steps to solution, and solution. So we're gonna pick one problem that this inventor faced, and we're gonna help find what the steps were to his solution. Okay? You're gonna help me with that. And then after we're done with that, I posted some videos of some cool kid inventors that I want you to watch. Because this week, I want you thinking about problems and solutions. So while you're watching the videos today, I want you to think, what problems were the kids that invented the things face? And what were their solutions? Okay. So go ahead and find page 238 in your squirrel book, and I will see you in a second.